Have you ever heard of the Wild House in Hamburg? Back in 1833, the locals gave this nickname to an old thatched cottage. One day, a young man named Johann Heinrich Wickern moved in with his family. The neighbors were suspicious. They whispered, "He's planning to take in street children," and predicted nothing but trouble. Soon enough, the first children arrived. By Christmas, there were 12 boys living in the wild house. These weren't just any kids. They were the ones society had given up on: homeless, runaways, and children from broken families. The neighbors shook their heads, convinced nothing good could come from it. But they were wrong. Inside that humble cottage, something beautiful was taking root, all thanks to the spirit of love and forgiveness. This became crystal clear during their very first Christmas together. Among the boys was one named Franz, who was known for being particularly difficult. Right in the middle of the Christmas celebration, he quietly gathered his new gifts, slipped out the door, and ran away. No one noticed he was gone amidst all the festive chaos. Franz wandered through the brightly lit Christmas market, feeling a rush of freedom. His new mittens kept his hands warm, and the Christmas cake he'd just tasted was the most delicious thing he'd ever had. He was mesmerized by all the colorful stalls and festive lights. Suddenly, a gentle hand landed on his shoulder. "Good evening, Franz," a calm, familiar voice said. Franz jumped and turned around. It was Wickern. Like a good shepherd searching for a lost sheep, he had come to find him. Without a single word, Franz turned and followed him back to the cottage. As they got closer, they could hear the other boys singing Christmas carols. But the moment they stepped inside, the singing stopped. All eyes were on Franz, and they were filled with anger. He had ruined their celebration. Wickern spoke softly, "You will decide his punishment yourselves. And you, Franz, wait in the bedroom." Franz sat alone in the other room, his head hanging low, bracing for what was to come. He could hear the other boys shouting out punishments. "Make him walk barefoot for a month," one suggested, "and wear wooden shoes on Sundays." Another added, "Let everyone see what happens when you run away." When Franz was finally brought back to face them, a strange silence fell over the room. One by one, the boys looked at him, and then at their own hands. Each one of them seemed to remember their own past mistakes, their own moments of weakness. Then, something incredible happened. A boy stepped forward, reached out his hand to Franz, and said quietly, "I forgive you." Another boy chimed in, "So do I." And then another, "Me too," until the whole room was filled with echoes of forgiveness. Wickern opened a Bible and read the story of the woman people wanted to condemn. He read Jesus' words, "Let the one who is without sin cast the first stone." Then he looked at the boys and said gently, "And today, Jesus is here among us. You did not condemn Franz, because each of you remembered your own sins. This is what true love looks like." The joy that filled the room that night was even brighter and warmer than before. The celebration continued, now with a deeper meaning. A year later, on the next Christmas, Franz went to Wickern. He said, "I will never forget what happened to me last year. You forgave me and trusted me again. That was my true Christmas." That moment of forgiveness, not the gifts or the food, was what truly changed his life. This story from the Wild House shows us the incredible power of compassion and second chances. It reminds us that sometimes, the greatest gift we can give someone is forgiveness. Thanks for watching, and if this story touched you, please give it a like and subscribe for more content that inspires. See you next time.